We were told by a friend in Mexico City that we had to go to this place. Museum of Toys, of antique toys. We're like, well, that's kind of cool, but is it really that cool for us to go to? We went over and we realized that it was so much more than about toys. It told the story and history of Mexico. When you enter, there's this troll holding a sign that says, the Museo de Juguete Mexico, the toy museum. You already think, this is going to be a fun surprise. Quite out of place in a way, because it's covered with huge murals done by international street artists, and inside is over 1 million toys.
I never had a mentor or never was teach how to collect.
Yeah.
I was only a keeper. I try to keep everything that makes me happy. That's the reason. I started with this kind of stuff.
And what year did most of these first toys?
I started in 1950s, in the middle of 50s, when I was 10 years old.
Oh wow!
Yeah. When you collect from, since you are a kid, you collect everything. This what you take here is a Batmobile. This is a Mexican version of a Batmobile. Nobody keep that kind of stuff. Nowadays, toys are made by designers that only think in selling quantities. Yeah. They are not intended to be played with, but to be sold. To sold a lot.
Like most things these days.
Yeah, like most things these days. No?
The second you walk into the toy museum, it's that feeling of being a child again that overwhelms you. An assortment of toys that take you into different decades, that take you into the lives of many children and into the mind of a collector.
Yeah. All these toys are fake. Also this version of Batmobile, which are very funny, no?
What do you mean fake?
Fake means not with license.
Okay.
Made in homemade factories, and they pay no royalties. But this kind of toys you can only find in Mexico, and you can only find in very poor neighborhoods. This make these toys much more rare than the stuff you found on.
And more special.
Yeah.
So you create these installations?
Yeah.
So you create them?
If I put in a conventional showcases, will look like an old toy store. So I intended to make a kind of fun.
How did you come up with this concept?
Only playing. I never make a drawing, nor not sketches. Just started working. And I asked the fellows to start working, no?
It's not just the toys, but it is kind of artwork created through these toys. It does remind me, it reminds me of what little kids do. Like, they're just a piece of plastic, but you create these stories and you play with them. And this is maybe the adult's way of creating these stories. Putting a bunch of cars in a jukebox. I loved playing yo-yos when I was a kid.
Yeah. Like many of the different tricks, no?
The center must be wooden.
So you can
and the best are the Duncan.
And you did all this?
Well, Robert made some and I made some.
Yeah.
Woo!
You know, when you're a child, you're pure, and imagine to have those objects of the most purest part of your life, that is the childhood. All the energy that is gathered in that object, we have millions of that objects, no? So for us, toys are like an energy, a good vibe object, no? So you feel the energy, no?
I feel the energy when I walk in here.
You feel the energy, and many people have come and they say like, this is too overwhelming, no? All our childhood was full of toys. My father had their own toys, and he chose the toys in Christmas,
he chose the toys before us in Christmas. Like, this goes to the collection, this is for you and everything. Well, at one time, like when you were 12, 15 years old, well, we were like, we don't want to go anymore to the flea markets, you know. But when we were little kids, I think my father always had told us that bazaar and flea markets are like a constant museum, and he was always like saying, "Teach your eyes." He was like always saying like "teach your." In Spanish, he was like saying "pule el ojo, pule el ojo." Let's say like make your eyes like familiar with beautiful things, no? So we're trying to do something honest. We're trying to do something pure, giving culture to the people every day. 8 years ago, we thought our father was crazy, no? We thought like he had no remedy. It's kind of a sickness, no? The collecting is a sickness that you only get cured when you share it. Today in the museum we are having one of the most important South American artists, woman. It's called Bastardilla. Her identity is totally unknown. So and we will be painting today with the museum in our warehouse.
Roberto Jr.'s interest in street art is particularly interesting to me, with the street art component of the museum and wanting to share public art with everyone in Mexico City, because it's the opposite of a collector. A collecting hobby is a very individual thing. Street art is a very public thing, and it's something to be shared. We were lucky that we were on a day that one of the most famous street artists in South America was going to be at the museum. But she is not a public figure. She does do quote-unquote illegal street art, so she's very careful in who she associates with. And then after a little bit of convincing from Roberto Jr., she said, "All right, I'll meet them. I need to look in their eyes to see if I can trust them." I guess we had trustworthy eyes because she said, "Okay, fine, I trust them." I think that she felt comfortable with us and she allowed us to film her, which I definitely felt very lucky about.
Bastardilla.
Bastardilla.
Dilla.
Dilla.
Illa, sí. Bastardilla. Perdí varios años. Perdí varios años en la escuela por estar pintando en el pupitre, así, solamente pintando, escuchando las clases y no tomaba apuntes en la clase, sino que solo pintaba, dibujaba, pero no fue tiempo perdido. La imagen que realicé hoy en compañía de ustedes tiene que ver más con la soberanía alimentaria, lo que le estaba comentando a Samuel, de la riqueza de los pueblos, la riqueza de un país que tiene que ver con, no con el dinero, ni solamente con el desarrollo tecnológico, sino que también tiene que ver con la soberanía alimentaria, que es producir el propio alimento, poder comer de él.
We arrived at the museum early in the morning and we did not leave the museum until midnight because we were there watching Bastardilla complete her entire piece. I've never seen anything like that. You couldn't envision what she was painting from the beginning. You couldn't tell. At first I thought it was a bowl of fruit, and then it became an alien. I was convinced it was an alien. And then it became this beautiful woman throwing the seeds of corn.
Sí, a mí me gusta más lo que hago en la calle. Me gusta por ética, me gusta que no tenga un valor monetario. Me gusta que sea algo... Me gusta que cuando la gente me pregunta que quién me pagó, que cuánto vale, que sí, me gusta realmente decir que no tiene nada que ver con el dinero y que no todo tiene que ver con el dinero. Entonces, lo que hago en la calle lo hago porque quiero. Me gusta mucho la calle.